I am back out and ready for another round of Q&As. I want to answer some questions that are related to when I get back on trail, what some of my plans are. So the first question I have is from one of my subscribers, Tony. He has asked if I have a start date in 21, if I'm hiking solo, and if there's any plans on going to trail days in Damascus, which is usually around May, mid-May. To answer Tony's questions, I will be starting April 7th. It is a little later than I originally planned, but I did take a look at the charts for the start dates of other hikers, and the 31st and 1st, those were all pretty peaked out. So I'm going to delay until the 7th, and that'll also allow me to spend time with my family for Easter. And I did check with the other hikers that I'll be starting with, so I won't be starting solo. I am starting the hike with Melinda, also known as Snow White, with Lisa, who came and visited in New Hampshire and did a little hiking then, and Terry. So Terry's a longtime friend, and she was going to start the hike with me, and actually we did our shakedown hike on the long trail together. But she's going to come and hike for a little bit also. So Lisa is only doing about 3 weeks, and then she'll be off trail. She may or may not come back. And Terry, she'll start, maybe go a month, it depends. She is still having to be able to support some of her work remotely, so we'll see how that goes. But at least they're going to start with me, so I have 3 others. So 3 of us to start. Who knows how many as we continue along our way. As for the question around trail days in Damascus, I'm not sure. COVID, not sure. May just pass it up. Really depends on where I'm at when it actually occurs. And if I'm in that general vicinity and it makes sense, then I'll pop in there. Otherwise, just continue on my way. Gypsy Girl asks if I'm going to shuttle with my car again, or if I'm going to wing it and see this go round. That's a very good question. One that I would have answered different ways at different times. It may still be up in the air depending on what I can do. So my plan is not to shuttle short distances with it. If I were to take it, I would park it real far down the trail and then get to it when I get to it. So the Waynesboro Visitor Center would be ideal. It's the start of the Shenandoahs on the southern end, and I've already done the Shenandoahs, so I would like to be able to get my car at that point. The next question is from Gypsy Girl, who asks, any special places, sites, or hostels you're looking forward to? And Tony had asked something similar, which was any special hostels you plan on staying out, maybe Chica and Sunsets. Now, Chica and Sunsets is top on my list. They are in Franklin, North Carolina. They have had so many good reviews up on Facebook and Camper. That way, he just put up his summary of hostels and hotels that he was staying at, and he listed that one as his top. So I believe it. It's a very small hostel. There's only 4 hikers allowed at a time. So that is one of my concerns, is that I won't be able to get in it. I would love to. That's my top place. I'd like to see the tree with the hanging shoes, but the thing that's top on my list is probably McAfee Knob. I think the view from that is going to be spectacular as long as I get there on a great day. I hope I'm not disappointed. You shouldn't have expectations for the trail, but that's one area that I am looking forward to and hoping that it's as good as I think it's going to be. And actually, another place is the one that I'm dreading as well as looking forward to is the section where you have about a mile of just rocks. That section is called Mahusik Notch. It's a mile of crazy terrain from what I gather, and sometimes you have to take your pack off to get through some of the areas. So that one's going to be interesting. So I'm looking forward to that just because of the reputation that it has, and then McAfee Knob because of the view that I hope I can get, and hopefully an iconic picture. Gypsy Girl wants to know if I'm anxious about the amount of hikers on the trail because 2020 and 2021 will be out there together. Or are you looking forward to the expanded camaraderie and possible tramily? I have to say I'm a little anxious. And the reason is I think I was a little spoiled this past year. You get to a shelter and you could have it all by yourself if you wanted, or just a couple of people around. And I think it's going to take some getting used to having more people to have to share things with. So I'm not looking forward to that aspect of it. So it does make me a little anxious. And I think it's going to be harder getting into some of the hostels. So I am a little anxious. As far as the camaraderie goes, I liked the amount of people that were on the trail this last go round. Of course, it's always great if you can get into a tramily, but if that doesn't happen, that's fine also. So, bottom line, a little anxious. So Pollyanna snuck in a couple of questions here towards the end. I thought I'd go ahead and take the opportunity to answer those. So her first one is what my biggest mental challenge was. So mentally on the trail, I have to say there was a section between Duncannon and Palmerton that I was hiking solo, and I had to dig pretty deep to keep going. I've been in a slump since I left Tina, basically. It was nice having somebody to hike with. And I think that's what's throwing me off. You know, when I first got on trail, it was all new, exciting, different. And now I'm over 300 miles in. 100 of that was with Tina. And I really enjoyed that. Not having that partner or somebody to talk to during the day makes it tough. So mentally, I'm not quite there. And I need to be there if I'm going to finish. Some of the things that saved me are the comments from subscribers. My husband saying, "I'll meet you up trail and hike a section with me." I got very emotional during that time. And I remember I woke up after a nightfall of rain, and the sun was coming through the trees, and these rays of light were just all around me. Getting emotional now as I think about it. It was hard to describe the feeling that I got when I saw those rays of light. It was quite emotional, and I just loved that section. It made me realize that I'm on this trail, I'm seeing the things that I'm seeing, and only I'm seeing them. I'll never be able to recreate any of the sights that I'm seeing or the feelings that I was having. Boy, I did not expect to have feelings coming flooding back. So, other times that the trail provided, it was right after that Palmerton when Pollyanna got word to me that she's really close, and we decided to connect. And I spent the next few weeks hiking with her. So when you are down in a slump, just wait. Things do get better. Pollyanna also asked what my biggest physical challenge was. I was debating. The Appalachian Trail has so many hard parts, but the two top were Washington, I'd have to say, day 2 of Washington, and the section near the Connecticut-Massachusetts border where I climbed over like 5 mountains in one day. So I was just trying to compare and contrast those two and what made them so physically challenging. The presidentials, climbing Mount Washington, and the ones before that and the ones after that, that one, I knew what I was in for. It was going to be 14 miles of rocks, exposure, just physically demanding, and I knew it. And when I finished that hike, I was physically drained. I remember going down to the Osgood tent area, and in that section, when we got into the tree lines, my legs were giving out. I could remember having to sit back because my legs were that tired. The other one, I ended up hiking by myself. Pollyanna, I was going to meet her later. I was going to pick her up, and I was not expecting what I ran into. I went over Bear Mountain, Mount Race, Mount Everett, Bushnell Mountain, and Jug End. And that was all around the Sage Ravine area. All right, I'm not gonna lie. These mountains are kicking my butt today. I'm at the top. This should be the worst of it. So that, in contrast, I was not expecting it. So I ended up having to change my plans, and Pollyanna ended up picking up me that day just because of how long it took me to get over those mountains. A lot of ups and downs, a lot of rocks. So contrasting the two, I was expecting what I was getting on Mount Washington and those mountains. I was not expecting what I got on those 5 mountains. I was definitely on a high on the presidentials. Those views are just spectacular. And on the other ones, it was more of, let me get up, let me get down, I got to get to the end. And I remember at the end of all that, there was these mosquitoes. So that one just wore me down. As I'm posting these Q&As, Pollyanna's responding back and has come up with one more comment or question. It's related to your body and how tough the trail is on your body. There's quite a few physical ailments that can happen while you're out on the trail. I know Wild on the Trail had shin splints this past season, which almost took him off the trail. Luckily, he was able to work through it. Prior hikers like Act Old Later, she had some problems with the IT bands, and that was very painful and very difficult to take care of. As for me, I have issues with my feet, so I have had tingling in my toes since I came off the long trail a couple of years ago, and that's a constant. So I'm been working through that. It has gotten better this past few months, but constantly, you know, it's there. So through hiking is very demanding on your body, and I know Pollyanna right now is recovering from a knee replacement. And hold on, there's deer up there, hang on. I'm gonna turn around here because there were deer running by and my dogs really want to pull me. As I was saying, the knees were bothering Pollyanna, and in the end, she had to get a knee replacement. The wear and tear on your body is real, and that's one of the reasons you really need to make sure that you are physically preparing for the trail. The long hikes really take a toll on your body, so be ready for it and take care of it. If you are hurting, listen to your body. Give it rest when it needs it. Listen to your body. Just wanted to thank everybody for those sets of questions. I have one more set of questions and they all have to do with gear. And I'll use that video to kind of show what my big three are and what I am taking on trail. And I'll work those questions in. So the next video you see will be related to gear. Thanks again for participating and getting me all those questions. I really enjoyed putting them together. They are making me relive the time I did spend on trail and getting me excited for getting back out there.